Hello, my name is John Clamett, and this is my app, Texidence. This is my final junior design project. So, the origins of this app is to convert text messages into a PDF. Now, this app was created to be able to present these PDFs in court cases. This is an Android app, and I used React Native to develop it. I didn't have, I do not have an Android, so I created this app using a Android virtual machine. Some prerequisites for this app is obviously you need an Android, but your phone also has to be rooted in order to access the text messages. Now, in terms of finding the text messages, I used ABET Shell to locate them in this data.com Android provider's Tele database, and that's where all of the text messages are stored. And when you change a text message, that database is changed as well. So I used Open Database to retrieve a data file using the React Native SQL storage library. And as you can see, I also had to change some permissions in order to get this file. So once I had this file, I used a execute SQL command to store all of this variable in in a JSON content using an empty list, as you can see in the code. This is all in a useEffect function. So the useEffect function is only ran once. So when the photo is loaded, all of the data from the database is loaded um, uh, into this variable. So in terms of actually creating the UI, it's pretty simple. I just use some style sheets, which is just some CSS components to make the title, the text indents, and like the blue color. I also used a React Native element dropdown, which is essentially just a exported element for HTML for the user to select a phone number to generate a PDF. And then, of course, I also have the Generate PDF button. Creating the actual PDF, I had to change again some security permissions in the Android XML. And I used two libraries. I used HTML to PDF and File Viewer. HTML to PDF to create the actual PDF. I used the dynamic HTML element and the file viewer to open the PDF once it was generated. And of course, I made lots of documentation when creating this project. All of these are in my GitHub. So some problems that I ran into are the biggest one is that in my open database function, it was not able to locate that directory that I was saying all the text messages are. So it only retrieves a database from its by by default when it can't find a directory, it retrieves the database from a default directory. So that was the biggest problem in terms of this app. So it's not completely dynamic yet, but it's almost there. So now I will demonstrate the app here. So as we can see, here is my full app. Um, if we want to look at some of the text messages that I've created, we have some context here, some text messages. You can see all these. And then this is the one I'll generate the report for, 10273. If I go into here, I can select a number that I want. So if I want to generate a report for all of the text messages I sent to 10273, I just select the number and then I hit generate PDF. I get this successfully exported message when the PDF is successful in terms of generating, and where the actual path is of the PDF, which is in the phone, and this will come up with an error if it doesn't export. And then you can either cancel it or you can open it directly. So I'll open it, and then as we can see, we have the actual PDF. So the PDF, if you look here, is the report and then the phone number. Then if we zoom in, we can see all of the information, including ID, the body, when it was seen, the date sent, it's undefined because I don't have a phone plan, and all of the messages. So, so in terms of the report, in terms of the app functionality, that is it. Takes all these text messages and it converts them just like that. Like I said before, right now I'm having some problem with the open database function, as we can see here. So currently I'm just using the terminal to execute a CP command to just put the text messages in that default directory. Besides that small problem though, the rest of the app works. Um, this is just a quick glance of all of my code. Here's my HTML element that creates the UI, including the dropdown. And here is the dynamic HTML element that creates the report in this generate PDF. There's more information all in my GitHub repository. I go into full detail explaining what each of these components do. And then in terms of security, I had to change some user permissions and the file type. So if I go back into, last thing I want to show you is the actual documentation. So as we can see here, I have my final project report here, defect tracking login policy, coding standards, the SDD. You can see all the diagrams I've made for this project, the SRS, which I made with the help of one of my friends, as they wanted. These are the requirements they thought would be good for the app. And then I also have a full development documentation which tells you how to, if you wanted to make this app yourself, it's a step-by-step guide of how to install the virtual device and how to root your phone, as I was saying before. So, yes. And that is all. Thank you very much.